So, guys, how did this movie come to pass?
I felt like I had revisited the same well inside myself for a few rolls in a row, and that really scared me. How easy it was to do that, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know where to begin to find it. And I called John Denny, who directed me when we were getting married, and who's kind of my artistic compass in a lot of ways. And he invited me to Jacob Burns Film Center in Pleasantville, New York, for a screening of Ben Wheatley's The Field in England.
Oh,
no one ever does that!
That's so great.
And it was you, so that's really cool.
Has anyone seen The Field in England?
That's cool too.
Masterpiece.
It's such a wonderful movie. For those of you who didn't just applaud, it's about like 15 soldiers from the 15th century who do magic mushrooms with the devil in the field in England. And that's the title. So I saw it, and it just thrilled me. It was so free, and I had no idea what was coming next. And it was the first thing in forever that I seen where I was like, Technicolor. You know, just that feeling. Like Technicolor has an emotion to
Totally,
it.
it does, yeah.
And I just loved it, and I wrote this really impassioned email to my agents, and I just said, I described everything I loved about it, and I said, please, if you read anything that checks any of those boxes, send it right over.
Fucking amen.
Amen. Maha, my agent, sent me this script and said, this is definitely weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the weird you're looking for, it's the right weird, but you tell us. And I read it, and I was just so in, and I met him, and who would sign up for that?
See?
I can't be sure you talk to your agent, talk about the script, and at the same time I was in Spain, not knowing anything, just getting peanuts. Like not knowing that they were talking about my own script. I don't know. So
The thing that was fun was the moment when everybody had to give their honest opinion about the script, and there was no template to go off of. You know, sometimes there is for those conversations, and everyone just had to get really real with it, and it was so great. We all kind of went around, and it was like, okay, there's no wrong answers. How do you feel? And there was this pause. Somebody goes, and then it just went, oh, I like that. I like this, and I like that. This whole conversation about it, it was so rich. And that was just such a lovely moment where everyone kind of let go about your...
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, it's so funny. The choices that you're making are really exciting too. I think it's interesting. Well, something that's been sort of a conversation in interviews recently about this film, this idea of jumping into something that's left of center, I think you said, which I think is so cool. But it fascinates me too because it should be like the thing that we're into and that we're drawn to should just be things that we're passionate about. It shouldn't be strange. And I find it interesting that it also becomes a part of the conversation of like, how funny that person is now into something sort of strange. But it's also kind of exciting and thrilling.
Well, it was fun for me because it was really illuminating last week when we were doing press when people came up to me and they said, oh, so this is different for you.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm sorry, this is me.
Right, exactly.
That's me. That's me. And if you thought otherwise, I have hands in it, but that wasn't the whole story up till now. And
Totally.
and this is not to say that this is the whole story. I mean, on my deathbed, that whole story. You know?
Right.
The whole thing's not completed for a long time.
Right. Have you been to Fantastic Fest? She's got to go to Fantastic Fest.
I'm sorry.
talk to her.
You've got to go to Fantastic Fest.
Yeah, she's a builder, yeah.
The amount of time that you actually spend in Korea is actually very slight. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is when Jason is walking, you just see his feet stomping on the gravel in the sort of sand yard, and with the sound of the destruction in Korea, which is so effective, and it's very impactful.
That's my thing.
And it's quite scary if you can feel the sort of destruction that he's creating as the monster.
That's really the European response to Michael Bay. In other course, no budget.
One of the things we talked about was how rare it is to find dark and silly in a film, and how right that felt. Because that's so much of what life is. Like when I think back to some of my most painful experiences, something funny or absurd always kind of threaded through it. And you know, nowadays, I mean, I'm sure like everybody here in HR in various ways, you can't help but feel pummeled by the news every day. You can't help but feel, you know, just so much is going on. And I'm happy that we have a story about destruction that doesn't show the destruction, that lets our imaginations do it with us. I'm happy. Granted, we couldn't afford it, and that's the reason why, but I'm happy to have a movie that explores destruction, which doesn't seem to stress out its audience. And I'm happy that it has humor, that we get grace in it, because, I mean, I don't mean to offend anyone, I do believe in God, I do think that God has a sense of humor. And that's why the pain is always mixed with something to cut it, you know?
Yeah.
Probably why the comedy is always mixed with a little bit of pain, too.
Yeah.
I had this late surge question when we were near. Is it working?
Such gentlemen on the stairs. So I had this sort of late surge. It wasn't doubt exactly. I just needed, for my own process, to explore something with Nacho. And I went to him and I said, do we have to, you know, do away with Oscar? And he said, well, I think so. And I said, well, what if, just spitball with me. What if, like, she wrote a letter to the police, and they show up, and they have a counselor with them, and she puts him down, and he gets taken into custody and gets the help that he needs. And like, is that I don't know. I think we should at least have the discussion. And to Nacho's credit, he either thought about it or pretended to think about it for a week, and then called me and said, I've really thought about it, and I need it to be the way that it is. And I said, okay, I appreciate you giving me the dignity of time and your thoughts, so what's the reason? And I'll never forget what you said, and you said, one of the reasons why I made this movie was because I needed to see this energy leave the world. Come on. And I hope you don't mind me saying this, but Nacho said, but I did think about something you said, and we're gonna expand the scene to include him choosing not to apologize. So in the moment, probably the biggest moment in his life, when he could have melted into vulnerability, he chose to go rigid, he chose to armor, he chose to be violent, and in doing so, sealed his own fate.
Yeah.
I just have to say, I love the wordplay. You know, as they're talking about, you know, it's so much symbolism with the monsters and everything and their demons. And I, as an actress, just enjoyed so much saying, you know, soul is behind that fence. Like just the words, I thought it was perfect. So it worked for me.
I won't deny that.
How long did you shoot in Korea? How long was the shoot in Korea?
Few days, really few days, like 3 or 4 days of right now with extras. There was 3 days, helicopter stuff and everything. And I remember those days were like, because when you're shooting in a close shot of her, for example, you have many things to move there, and note like a port, something like you can give a lot of stuff. You can make a lot of comments. You can play with things in a different way. Like when you make a close shot of her, for example, you can be active as a filmmaker in many ways. You can suggest a lot of stuff. But when you're making this kind of 300 extra shot, running away, the people working for you, they just follow the instructions from storyboards, and it's kind of great. It's easier. Like shooting 300 people run away is easier because when the action is beautiful. God, I love it. any notes? And like, and can I confess something? Even if I had nothing to add, I just came out with these little notes. So I could feel like a filmmaker. Like, can they, people on the left could be a little faster? And I confess that I made that because I wanted to feel like I was directing the film. But it was actually amazing from the very first day. So yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
I think that's it. Yeah, I'm getting
Thank you